Hey everybody, welcome back. This is Miss Faye and this is my world. Okay, today's message is do not date a coworker. Don't date a coworker. Okay, ladies, before we jump into this topic, I want to say welcome. Welcome to all of the new viewers. Welcome to all of the new subscribers, and welcome to you who have been with me from the beginning. I really appreciate all of you. Now, those of you who are new to this channel, I will answer your relationship questions. So at the end of the video, I'll show you a link where you can send in your questions. And I will either answer your question privately through the email, or I will share it and answer it online. Now, that would be your decision. And those of you who are interested in these caps, they are now available in my online store. So just go to the description all the way down to the bottom. You'll see a link that says online store. Just click on that link and there you are. Okay, let's dive into this message today. Don't date a coworker. Okay, and you probably say why? Listen, ladies and gentlemen, I understand you spend a very large part of your life at work. It's designed to be that way. You spend a very large part of your time at work. But it's not a good idea to date a coworker. And I'll tell you why. Number one, everybody in the office will know your business. They can see your relationship play out in the office. You don't want that. You don't want everybody in the office to know your private business. You understand? And that's why you shouldn't date the coworker. Because the coworker is going to be talking to other people on the job. Just like if you have other friends on the job, they're going to be looking at your relationship. They're going to have something to say about it. And then they're going to be people behind the scenes that you don't even know that's going to have something to say about your relationship, because it's being played out in public, in the office space, and it shouldn't. It can also be detrimental to your job to have a romance on the job. There are many employers who frown upon you dating someone on the job. Okay? And this is why, because it can cause a disturbance in your work, other than it can cause confusion in the workplace. Okay? It's not a good idea to date anybody you meet on the job, period. Okay? Keep your love life and your work life separately. Totally separately. Don't go to the job looking to date anybody on the job. It's a bad idea, ladies. You don't want your business to be out there like that. You see? And the downside that the relationship may fall apart or whatever. And now you on the job and you got to keep passing this coworker that you have broken up with. It can be very stressful. Unduly stressful. You understand? So why do it? And then the other thing is you could break up with the person and then see the person dating other people on the job. Now you feel some kind of way. And maybe you didn't break up. Maybe the other person is cheating with other people on the job. It's too messy. It's too messy all the way around. Don't date people on the job. You know, keep them friendly. Don't sleep with anybody on the job, ever. As long as you're on that job, don't get romantically involved with them. You know, if you just want to be friends, fine. But just keep it that. Keep it as platonic friends. Enjoy each other that way. But don't get romantic or intimate with anybody you're working with. Okay? All right. Now, this message today was inspired by a letter that came in. Okay, so let's dig into this letter and see what this young lady has to say. All right. I have been single for 4 years and celibate for over 5 years. Well, you've been celibate because you've been single. Okay. Either way, it's good. I am a professional woman working in a good job. Prior to this job, I had recently lost everything during COVID. It's a lot of people that lost everything during COVID, and now they're just coming back. Okay? I relocated to the opposite end of the state for work and am living out of a long-term stay hotel while I use Uber to get to work. I'm also staying at this hotel while I move through a bankruptcy to help me catch up financially as I was wiped out. I met a man at work. We were friends for over 3 months. Disclosed a lot to each other. Spent time whenever he was around the area and shared things that only close friends share with one another. He has 4 children by 2 different women. And he is currently in the middle of his 2nd divorce. You know, ladies, now I'm going to stop right here because I want to give you a little tidbit. If you meet a man who's going through a divorce, just breaking up with somebody, do not get involved with him because you will only be a rebound. Okay? Anytime a person breaks up from a relationship, they need time to heal from that. You understand? But unfortunately, a lot of us will jump right into another relationship, not realizing that we're bringing those energies that are probably negative from that past relationship, and I say negative because it didn't work, negative into a new relationship. You see? And they're only doing that to forget about the old relationship. Understand? Don't do it. Don't jump into a relationship with a person who is freshly out of another relationship. At least they need to give themselves at least a year to clear it out. You understand? Don't do it. When you meet somebody, ask them, when was your last relationship? And that they said, you know, they dated somebody a couple of months ago and they were together for a while, but then you just be friends with them. Don't try to jump into a relationship with them because you'll just be a rebound. That's it. That's all you will ever be. Okay, let's see what else you say here. Eventually, he asked what hotel I was staying at. I thought I was only explaining to a friend who was curious, although a red flag did pop up. Now, wait a minute. Okay, wait a minute. Now, who are you trying to fool here? It sounds like you're trying to fool yourself. You knew this man was interested in you. You come talking about you thought you were only explaining to a friend who was curious. You knew better than this. You knew this man was interested in you. Okay? Because here you go. Although a red flag did pop up. If you were just looking at him as a platonic friend, you wouldn't have seen the red flag pop up. You understand? You saw that because there was some interest in him other than a friend. Okay. He began saying he was moving out of the house with his wife and started staying at the same long-term hotel as myself. Okay, all right, wait a minute. Let's go back. You met this man at work. Okay. You started talking to him and laying your life out for this man. And he's telling you some things. Okay? All right. Now, this man is drawing you in. Okay? Getting you to tell some of your personal business to him. All right? Now, he tells you that he's moving out of the house with his wife. You see? And before you know it, now he's moving into the hotel where you are. You see, it's something fishy about that. Very fishy. Very fishy. Because why would a man, think about it, why would a man move out of his house with his wife to move into a long-term hotel? Think about it, lady. That doesn't make any sense. Think about it. Is something wrong with that picture? Okay, let's look at this. I found it creepy at first. Very creepy. Especially when he began to pursue me somewhat more aggressively. You know what it sounds like to me? It sounds like to me that his wife threw him out. And now he's trying to latch on to you. That's what it sounds like to me. He was probably living with her. Living in her house. You understand? He never had a house. That's why he come to the hotel. You understand? Ladies, when men come to you with these outlandish stories, think about it. Think about what he is actually telling you. That right here doesn't make any sense. He's going to move out of his house with his wife to move into a long-term hotel. I'm telling you, it's probably because his wife threw him out. It was probably her house. He ain't no good, so she threw him out. That's what it sounds like to me. Okay. When he found out I was temporarily out of a car, he offered to give me a ride home from work in his Tesla. Okay, you mentioned that he's got a Tesla. So now, to you that means money. Okay, you don't have a car. To you, Tesla is a nice car. You understand? So you're impressed. That's why you put it here, Tesla. Okay. When I declined, he offered to let me drive his Tesla. I declined over and over again, but he continued to pursue the friendship through messaging. One day he messaged that he was having surgery the very next day and didn't have anyone to take him. He didn't have anyone because his wife, and we don't even know if that really was his wife. He might have been just living with the woman. Because, ladies, you can't believe everything a man tells you. This is what I want you to understand. You cannot believe these stories that these men are telling you. Okay? Now, he's saying all of a sudden, he's having surgery. Now, he's got a wife, he claims, that she won't even take him to the hospital. That ought to tell you something right there. That should tell you something right there. If he is married, you see, and he was in a home, he's been thrown out of his home. I'm sure he didn't leave. No man will leave a nice home to move into a hotel. Okay. No. No. People don't do that. And now he's got a Tesla, which his so-called wife probably had to co-sign for him to get it. You understand? You understand? So now, here he is trying to latch on to you. Because you work together. And, you know, if you work together, maybe he has some idea of what your income ought to be. Okay? Okay, so now he doesn't have anybody to take him to his surgery, so he's contacting you. I stupidly tried to be helpful and had no hesitation helping him out, as it was a medical emergency. Well, what did it have to do with you? I guess you just wanted to help him out as a friend, but you knew the man wanted more from you. And you know that this was all about drawing you in to him. He could have found a way to go to his surgery. He need you. You used to take Uber. He knows Uber too. You understand? But he's trying to latch on to you. Okay. He stated he was going through a divorce. He gonna tell you this. And had no one to take him. I ended up taking him to and from his surgery and back to his hotel room. I hung out with him, chatted, and etc. Just like we had before. I knew he wanted more, but I was not interested. You knew he wanted more from the beginning. Ladies, you can feel these things. When men approach you first, you know what they want. You can look in their eyes and tell what they want, even before they open their mouths. You understand? And you knew what he wanted, but what is it that you want? You seem to be entertaining him, and I don't understand why. Okay? I knew he wanted more, but I was not interested. He began lending me his car anytime I needed to go somewhere, instead of having to take an Uber. Yeah. He don't mind, you taking his car. I'm telling you, I think his wife has something to do with this car. That's what it sounds like to me. For him to just freely give it to you is something. Maybe the insurance on the car is in his wife's name. Maybe the car is in his wife's name. You don't know what the situation is, what you're dealing with here. You just don't know. But it sounds very shady to me. I began using his car to buy groceries and other things I needed. I would also recharge his car before returning it. He then began discussing renting a place together with 2 to 3 roommates. Okay. Listen, ladies, listen. This man is telling you, why don't you all go and rent a place, and get the community involved, get other people. You understand? You and him with 2 or 3 roommates so that you all can afford a place. This man has no money. I'm telling you, he was probably using that other woman that he was with, if he was married to her. He was using her. And he's looking to use you. And whoever he can. Okay? Initially, I wanted to be just he and I. And I was not comfortable with that. Well, I guess not. Get in a room with other people, living in the same house together. You don't know these people. He's doing that because he cannot afford to provide for you. He can't provide anything for you. You understand? That's why he needs other people, so that you will not realize that he has nothing. He has nothing. Okay? He probably can barely keep up the payments on that Tesla. Okay? Here we go. He then eventually mentioned he would pick the area of the place, etc. And I would pay the other half of the rent as he would hardly be home since he was quitting our current job, something he ended up not doing. Okay, he's telling you that he would pick the place and that you would pay the other half of the rent. And I guess he and these other people would pay the other half. I don't know what he's got in his mind, but so he didn't end up quitting his job, but he ended up getting a full-time remote job elsewhere, allowing him to travel and see other women in different countries who are friends. Okay, I don't know what kind of business that you're in, but I do, from this letter, it sounds like this man is very shady. Very shady. Okay. To make a very long story short, I borrowed his car when needed, and I did for him as he did for me. I began to really like him, but also knew what he was about. That he was a user, lowbrow, and if he were an ounce bit serious, was likely controlling, given the love bombing and supple red flags of control and manipulation. He was too much too soon, as my therapist stated. Okay, now you have a therapist. Okay, that's kind of helping you with this, I suppose, or helping you with other issues. Okay, so now you introducing the therapist, and the therapist, I guess, is telling you about this love interest of yours. The dead giveaway was that when I finally let my guard down and allowed myself to enjoy a night of pleasure and had sex with him, it was not at all what I thought it would be. You see, it was a waste of time. It was a waste of time from the beginning. A co-worker. You understand? It was downhill from the beginning. And then plus, the man told you that he was just getting out of a marriage. He's got kids for different women. How many children did you say he had? He got 4 kids by 2 different women. All of that is a red flag. You acting like you're just seeing the red flags now. You understand? Listen, this man is no good for you. Okay, so you had sex with him, and it wasn't what you thought it was going to be. Which now, I hope you're saying this was a waste of time. A waste of time. Why were you going with him? Only because he had a car? And he let you drive his car whenever you needed to go to the store or whatever. I'm telling you, there's something funny about this man and his car. You understand? It's something that's not quite right with this man and this car. Because I'm going to tell you something. You see, a Tesla is not a cheap car. And it's not a cheap investment. You see? This man probably went into this investment with the woman that he was living with. Whether it was his wife or his girlfriend or his little whatever. This woman's got something to do with this Tesla. I believe it. I believe it. I don't think it's his outright. You understand? And that's why he's so free and easy to let you drive it when you want to drive it. Because it's probably no backlash on him. You understand? Probably not on him. It's probably a car with her name on it and his name on it. And the insurance. And she may be the main borrower. And he may be just, like the co-signer. And I'm going to tell you this because when I was with the narcissist, in the very beginning, he wanted, let me see what happened. I don't know. I don't think his car broke down. I think his car broke down, and so he wanted another car or something. Anyway, We hadn't been dating that long, a couple of months or whatever. But before I knew it, he had me at the car dealership. He's looking for another car. He's looking for another car. Okay. So we at the car dealership and everything. And he takes me around and, you like this car? Yeah, this car's nice. Maybe you get this car with it. It was like a truck and it really didn't cost that much. I think the thing was like maybe $4,000. It was just an old, run around or whatever like that. Well, anyway, me, I didn't know anything. I'm like everybody else, just dumb, just trying to have a man in my life. Okay. And I really cared about him. But I didn't know that he was manipulating me the whole time. Okay. We get there to sit down at the table, him and the guy, to fill out the paperwork. Unbeknownst to me, this man don't have no credit. That's why I'm there. That's why I'm there. So, here we go. Signing. I'm thinking I'm the co-signer to help him get this right because I care for him. You understand? I care a lot for him. We're supposed to be together. So here I am signing on this dotted line for this car. Okay. Now, he did pay the car off. He did. He paid the car off. But what happened when the title came, it came to me. And the title came, guess what? In my name. His name wasn't even on the car. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Do you understand what I'm saying? It could be the same thing with this Tesla. You don't know what these men are doing. They doing all kind of tricks on women. All kind of tricks on women. And under the guise that they are in love with you. It's all a scam and all a trick. Thank goodness I didn't get caught up with that particular car. But see, the same narcissist, when I allowed him to move in with me, now this is when I got caught up with the luxury car. Oh, we need a luxury car. You see, I already had a car that was already paid for. But see, these people want to lock you down into something. You understand? They want to lock you down and destroy you in the process if they can. You see? So, yeah, I got caught up in this old car business. So that's why it's looking like something fishy about this man who has to move in a hotel driving a Tesla. Okay? Okay, that's why I think it's something fishy here. All right. Let's see. He was... Now, let's see. Let's see what you say here. He was a tiger in bed. He was forceful and, dare I say, rather what my therapist said, he was sexually sadistic in bed. And I informed him his forcefulness was hurtful when it became hurtful by stating it hurts. And he did not slow down, stop to check on me or anything because he didn't care. He doesn't care about you. He is just using you for sex. You understand? And whatever else you have. That's all this is. He don't care nothing about you. He carried on. This is something I've never experienced before with a man. He literally finished in 8 minutes, 10 minutes max, and was also forceful during sex and when he finished. You understand? It felt like rape, didn't it? I bet that's what it felt like he was raping you. Because in his mind, you was just an object, not a person, an object, a sex toy, an object for him to use for his own gratification. That's all you were. That's it. You understand? Ladies, get this through your head. Don't allow men to use you like this. And this was all this is, just use and abuse. Use and abuse. He said he had not come in a while. Oh, so that's why he was acting like a fool? He treated me like trash afterwards, making comments about me sleeping with others, tossed what was left of his box of brand new condoms into the nightstand and left. He didn't text the next day. He texted a day or two later, only to say he was busy. I hope that you realize it's just sex now. That's all it is. And probably that's all it was ever going to be. That's why he let you borrow his car. His car. Because he just wanted sex. We were supposed to get together before he left town again. 4 days later, but he blew me off. And I have a rule about not pursuing men. Wait a minute. Wait, hold up. You say here that we were supposed to get together before he left town again. 4 days later, but he blew me off. And I have a rule not pursuing men. Wait a minute. You have a rule of not pursuing men when it seems like you have been pursuing this man all along. To me, it sounds like it. You driving his car. You even had sex with him. And now you say that now that he has used and abused you, and now you're waiting for him to come back and say something like the day after, that because you didn't contact him and to find out why he's not saying anything to you, this is your way of saying that you have a rule not pursuing men. You should have a rule of not sleeping with men you don't know. That should be your rule. Because you don't know this man. You don't know him. You know of him, but you don't know him. You understand? When he contacted me, he said he was sorry. He was busy working. It's bull. I want to say that my position at work is equivalent to a doctor, and his position at work is equivalent to a nurse practitioner. Oh, so why is this important now? To let us know that you dated down. Why is it important? You understand? In your letter, you highlighted a few things. That he had a Tesla, although he was in a long-term stay hotel, where you are too. But you say that your work is equivalent to a doctor. Is your pay equivalent to a doctor? Is his pay equivalent to a nurse practitioner? You know, nurses make good, and so do doctors. You understand? So I don't understand. Are you talking about the importance of the position? Or is it, the income that you're making? It doesn't sound like you're making much of an income if you're in a long-term hotel. I don't get it. Okay. Unless it's a long-term luxury hotel, and you didn't say it was. You understand? That could be different. However, neither one of us has power over the other at work. Though I'm not sure that I did much to reduce any insecurities he may have had. I waited 4 days after we were intimate, and when I realized the 4 days had passed and he did not bother to see me again, I immediately blocked him off from everything. So now you pissed. Now you pissed. You should be pissed at yourself, not at him, because He's only doing what he has always done. It's you. You are the one who have accepted it. He hadn't changed from what I see in his letter. He hadn't changed. But you have been complying to it. To whatever he has been dishing out to you, you have been complying to it and hoping that it's going to be something good to come out of this. How can it? How can anything good come out of this? When you met the man, he was coming out of a divorce. So he says. So he says. He may just be separated and planning to go back home. You don't know. Like I said, you don't know this man. You never took time to know him. You understand? You just jumped into a bad situation. Okay, now you pissed because he's not saying anything to you. I later checked my work emails to find he is still working more than just on call at work and is still very much working the same job as me and with women who don't really like me, adding salt to the wound as he had me believing he was quitting. That's on you. That's not on him. That's on you, believing his lies. You understand? You can't blame the liar for lying. You can't blame the cheater for cheating. They do what they do. But you need to look at yourself. Why were you so desperate to be with him in the first place? And you were desperate. And I say that because you knew the man was between wives or divorces or something. You knew that something wasn't right. In the beginning, you avoided his advances. But when you found yourself in need, you thought that you would use him a little bit because you needed that car. You understand? You use him a little bit. And so then you said, all right, well, maybe he's not so bad. You understand? You're going to just dismiss all the information, the little information that you have about him and say, well, maybe he's not so bad. So now you're going to have sex with him. Okay. Now you're going to bond. You're going to form a bond. That's what you're doing when you have sex with him. You understand? And that's what you did. And now you're hurt because he's not contacting you like that. He never cared about you like that. He was only trying to have sex while he was in this hotel. That's it. That's all he wanted from you. He's not trying to start a relationship with you. Okay, here we go. I had a session with my therapist who informed me he thought the guy was a sexual sadist, has potential stalker behavior, and is abusive and controlling. Yeah, your therapist told you right. Your therapist actually told you right. So why are you here? Are you looking for a second opinion? And it doesn't hurt to get a second opinion, you understand? You understand? You say, what are your honest thoughts on this situation? Should I be looking for another job? No. Will he likely try to squirm his way back to try to cause more destruction? Yes. Is this something I should be prepared for? Yes. And any feedback and advice would be appreciated. My mother passed when I was young, so having your mentorship is invaluable. Okay. I've been telling you throughout this letter what a mistake this was with this man. And like I did answer your questions here. Yeah, your therapist is right. He is a potential, stalker. I don't know. You don't really, I don't see in a letter where you really have anything for him to stalk you. The only thing he was wanting from you was sex. You understand? So I don't see why he would stalk you. He would try to come back and have more sex with you. That I know. And if you continued to have any kind of relationship with him, yeah, he would be abusive and controlling. Okay? But ladies, understand, you have power. It's up to you. You don't have to comply to this at all. At all. And listen, if you like your job, you're comfortable in your job, I wouldn't allow him to run me off from my job. You understand? If you're making a good living and you're comfortable where you are, you stay at your job. But I would act like I didn't even know him. I would act like I didn't even know him. You didn't sound like that you have to see him daily on this job, which is good. You know he around there. Forget it. But you need to heal to be stronger when you see him again. You need to start your healing process right away. Right away. So that you can break that soul tie. You understand? Because that soul tie will keep you going back to him. Because it's a pull. You're connected to the guy now. You are connected. And that's why you run into the therapist and asking these questions, because this fella is still in your energy. And believe me, you are still in his energy. But he's only using your energy to manipulate you. You understand? To come back to have more sex with you when he's ready. That's all it is. Or to use you for whatever. If you have anything else that he can use, he'll come back for that. But for right now, all he needed from you was sex. That's it. Ladies, the title of this video was Don't Date the Coworker. Period. Don't you meet people on the job, leave them on the job. Don't date them. It can ruin. It can ruin your work. Number one, with everybody on the job knowing your business. You understand? And who's to say that he's not going to go around and tell your business to people on the job, or to tell it to the next woman that he's involved with? You don't want that headache at all. And this man right here, if you are trying to build your life again, why do you need to be dragging somebody else along with that? Concentrate on yourself. Love yourself. Put all of your energy into rebuilding your life. You say you lost everything in COVID. You don't need anybody to share that energy with. You need to be putting all of your energy back into yourself to focus on rebuilding your life. You don't need a man for that. In fact, a man can hinder that. You understand? Because you are sharing your energy. Put all of your energy into yourself. Love yourself. And build a life for yourself. You don't need him. This guy right here is bad news. Ladies, do not date co-workers. Don't date them. And I'm going to tell you, it happens because we spend so much time on the job. Most of us spend at least 8 to 10 hours on the job every day. Every day. So yeah, you see people on the job that you may want to date, but you shouldn't. Especially if they work in your department or on a job where you got to see them. Now, there's some jobs that, the corporation is so huge. To this, he could work in a totally different building, a totally different city, but it's the same. It's the same company. Now, that's different. But co-workers, I'm talking about co-workers that are in the same building, in the same department. Somebody that you're going to be passing every day. Don't date those people. Pass those people by. It's a bad situation to bring your personal life into your job. Okay? This is what I want you to understand, ladies. Love yourself. Take care of yourself. And I really hope this message today will help someone. And I really hope that my advice will help this lady that wrote this letter. You have a therapist, and your therapist is telling you right about the man that you're involved with. But you shouldn't be involved with that man, period. I don't know if your therapist is telling you that, but you need to cut him off, period, and forget all about him, because he's only using you. Only using you, and you deserve better than this. Okay. All right, ladies. I thank you for watching this video, and I really hope it helps. Those of you who have questions that you would like for me to answer, here is the link. Send your questions to MissFayesWorld@hotmail.com. That's MissFayesWorld@hotmail.com. And try to keep your letters to one page. Just summarize your situation and ask the question. And if you prefer that I answer your question through the email, just put it at the very top of your letter, and I will comply to that. And if I decide that the response to your letter can help the collective, I will read it online and share it here. So I thank you all for your letters. I thank you all for your comments. And a special thank you to those that leave a donation. I appreciate all of you. I love you all. I wish you all the best. And I really hope to see you next time.